Hey, this is Crystal Waters, and you're watching my full interview on the Untold Interview.
Crystal Waters.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm
Welcome to
doing
the
great.
Untold.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you did come, you did come a little ways.
Yes. So for those that don't know the history of Crystal Waters, where you from? What was your upbringing?
I am from South Jersey, exit 3 on the Turnpike.
Okay.
I grew up, I guess you say I grew up in a musical family. My father was a jazz musician, Junior Waters. My great aunt was Ethel Waters, a legendary vocalist and actress.
Right.
My uncle was Zach Zachary from MSFB, the lead saxophonist on all those great songs.
Your breakout hit single. It was Gypsy Woman. It gave a powerful blend of dance floor energy and social commentary. What inspired you to write that song?
The late 80s, there was a lot of homelessness, there was a lot of AIDS. It was just, a time where, people weren't really being very compassionate. Like if you had AIDS and the ambulance would come and they found out you had AIDS, they wouldn't even pick you up or help you or anything.
Right.
And I was at Howard, and I was, always fighting for people's rights and all that kind of stuff. So when I started writing Gypsy, all I had was la-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-dee, and I couldn't find any syllables that short that would fit into the hook.
Right.
So I said, all right, somebody's singing this song. So I thought about this woman who actually stood on Connecticut Avenue in front of the Mayflower Hotel. My sister worked there in a hair salon, and I would walk every week. And she stood there fully dressed in black, full face of makeup. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with that woman. She needs to go get a job and da-da-da-da-da. And then the local city paper did a story on her and told how she had this job. I think it was in a retail cosmetic counter, and how she lost it, and how one thing after another, how she lost everything. And it just completely changed my mind about homelessness. Like, it could just be you, it could be you or me, and it can happen that fast. And I had a whole another attitude after reading that. So I thought about her. And that's why the song starts, she wakes up early every morning just to do her hair because she cares. Because she says in the article that she does that because if she felt like if she was going to ask you for money, she should be respectable, look respectable. And she was actually singing gospel songs. But that's where I got the song from.
Now that single hit. What was that? Billboard charted 11 or 10 like that.
It hit the chart.
Well, for Gypsy Woman.
Gypsy went #1 on the
Yeah.
dance chart.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
dance chart.
Yeah.
Now, when it charted, where was you at mentally?
When it charted, when it hit, I had no idea. I didn't leave my job for a year and a half. I didn't know. I didn't have a passport. Like the first thing they did was send me to London. So I thought, maybe it was these certain areas that it was going to be. So I went to London, came back to work. I go do a show or two, come back to work, and I just didn't know how huge that this song was going to be. And I think it wasn't until like a year later. Plus, I wanted to keep my health benefits. That I got recognized. I started getting recognized, and I was like, "Oh, this is real. This is happening." So mentally, I probably was not prepared at all for like my first single to be such a big hit that it was.
It was a big hit. What label was that under?
Mercury Records, which is now Universal.
Okay. Now, I seen the music video growing up. Music video prices have changed.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was almost millions of dollars to
Yeah,
shoot.
because you didn't have the digital. You had to have the video, the tape, and you had to go somewhere to process it, and
Yep.
da 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 da.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, looking back at 100% Pure Love, which was an extraordinary hit single, and that was actually not too far from the follow-up Gypsy Woman. Am I correct?
It was the second album,
The
yeah.
second album. What was the process of putting that together?
That was difficult because we had the pressure of having another major hit. And we were, it was like nobody wanted to be called a one-hit wonder. So we were in the studio under a lot of pressure to get that one single. And I remember just getting the track, and that bass line just stuck out to me, in the song. And I was like, this is it, this is it. So when I wrote that one was really at a time when hip hop was coming in really strong, and it was a lot of name calling and all this kind of stuff. And I really wanted to write something positive, something totally opposite. So that's kind of where 100% Pure Love comes from.
That was my aunt. One of her favorite songs growing up. I used to, yeah, she used to clean to
Yeah,
that
clean to
music.
the house. I
Yes,
get that a
yes.
lot. We used to clean the house to your music.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, being a pioneer in dance music, how do the '90s and today's music, how do it correspond with the sound that's out now?
The sound is out. Well, you know, when we started, when house music started, which actually started in the 80s, it was underground. Nobody liked, none of the mainstream cared for it. It was going to be, just a fad and it was going to pass. So I see if I'm going from that till like now where it's like mainstream and it's the one that's making like the most money now. So for me, to know I was part of that in the beginning, to see it grow because nobody believed in it is something that I'm proud I was a part of. Now the sound has the genres have, I don't know, we feel like it went from one genre of house to like 20 genres now.
Right.
So you can go from anywhere from gospel house to techno house. I think somewhere in between that though, it kind of went Euro dance. It kind of got, I call it gentrified a little bit.
Okay.
And it got more poppy and um, so it's just changed a lot. But I think now where we are now, it feels like it's come back around to more of a soulful sound, more of the original sound. So I'm really liking that.
Now, for those that don't know, what is the difference between gospel dance or sound? I'm sorry, gospel sound versus techno dance.
All right, gospel house is
House.
gospel influenced vocals. Mostly, maybe they've taken some vocals from a gospel track and put it to a dance beat. It's really uplifting. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And Detroit techno, I think it's more electronic, more how can I explain it? More electronic beat sound. I don't know how to explain it. It's more. It sounds like technology, technic. And then you have EDM, which people know, which is more like the David Guettas and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. So that's a whole nother genre.
Now, when it comes to you approaching writing lyrics today compared to when you used to write music, do you feel a shift in your creativity?
I think the purpose driven is a little changed now. You know, I still write songs with messages, but I feel like for some reason people don't want to hear it. Like it's a lot today I could probably write
Right.
about, but I don't know who's going to play it. There's a lot going on right now. Um, but I still wait to get inspired from the track. I still don't overthink it or anything like that. So I don't really put I'm going to write this March song or something. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, looking back in your early career, when you put out Gypsy Woman, is it one thing that you wish that you could have changed?
I think when it first came out, people just heard the la da dee la da da, and they never got the message to the song. So we always wished that they would hear what the song was really about. And then I remember the second pressing that they actually changed the label on the record to "She's Homeless, La Da Dee La Da Da," because people weren't getting what the message was and that
Okay.
kind of. So if I could have changed anything, that would have been it.
With so many hits under your belt, how do you stay motivated in creating?
Um, I think for me, creativity, you have to stay creative or you just kind of fade away. I mean, I have to write these. There was a period where, everybody wanted another great big hit and like you almost kind of become afraid to like do it because maybe it won't happen and you feel like a failure and all that stuff. But I learned that you just got to keep writing, just putting it out. You can't worry about if it's a hit or not. You just got to keep expressing yourself. And I'm glad I did because now I'm looking back at all these years. Now I got all these songs out here. What if I had just stopped? And some people do just stop. And I'm glad. I'm just glad that I didn't.
Now, with this music industry, a lot of artists can face roadblocks.
Mm.
Have you ever faced, any ups and downs in your career?
Oh yeah, lots of ups and downs. Most of mine were contractual because you got to negotiate and deal with, people change after they get a hit record. There's a
Right,
lot of
right,
people
right,
who
right.
got their hands out now. So it was a lot of that. A lot of sometimes the lawyers just because they're lawyers, they just want to fight. They want to drag it out and do their positioning and all this stuff. And you're sitting in, home waiting to get this contract done.
Right.
So it was a lot of that. But the music industry has changed so much now that I don't even know if that's even the obstacles anymore. Now it's, how to get your music out there and be heard, because, I mean, like, everybody says there was no hit song of the summer.
Right.
There was nothing, nobody could gravitate to, because I don't want to get into Spotify and all that, but it's just so, I don't know what watered down is, but it's just so much out there, no real focus.
Today's news is that no hip hop artist reached 100
I saw
Billboard
that.
chart. That's
Didn't chart in the top 100.
yeah. How you feel about that?
I don't know how that happened. I don't know, because the powers that be could put one in the top 100. So I feel like there's something going on in the industry that is happening that I'm not privy to, but something. It's the powers that be, because if they want one in there, it would have been there.
Crystal Waters, I want you to take me on a journey in a studio session with you. Do we got candles? Do we got incense? Do we got some water, some fine wine? Take me in that journey.
I'm more like a little more like a workhorse. I write the songs at home, and then I get into the studio. I like the back and forth with the engineer. If I can have other people in there, I will. But no, I like the lights up. I'm there in the afternoon. I don't do any more late night, all that kind of stuff. But no, I'm in there, and I'm in there for like 3 or 4 hours. I'll sing it 1,800 times so I get it right, and then we go from there.
Now, let's talk about I Am House.
Mm-hmm.
That's your new show / radio podcast. Can we say that?
Yeah, well, I like to call it my brand. So I have my iHouse radio show, I have the podcast, I'm doing I Am House events, I'm doing this I Am House orchestrated with all the dance divas of the 90s, which I'm very excited about. November 20th, it's going to be Robin S., CeCe Pennison, Barbara Tucker, Naya Day, Dwayne Harden, Amuka, and Shirvani from Black Box. It was a dream. I've done these orchestrations overseas because they do with a lot of the dance classics.
Right.
And I always like, that music came from America, especially in New York. I said, I got to do that in New York. I said, all the singers are there. They can't afford to bring us all over at once. I said, but I bet you I could do it in New York, and it's going to be great. So when I reached out to everybody was down for it. Everybody's excited and happy. So I'm just happy that I think I'm moving in a different direction, maybe more behind the scenes with I'm still I still love the music. The podcast is doing well. I have over 10 million monthly listeners, and
congratulations.
Thank you. This is 39 countries, 69 countries, something like that. So I'm really liking that. I still get and it's all new house music, so I get to help other artists that really you can't really hear house too many places, so there's a place for new house artists to come and get their music played and things like that.
Now, what made you want to start a podcast? You could have did anything else.
I like the music. I always wanted, most times you're going to hear house music in the club. I wanted to come home and hear, because there's some good, especially now everybody knows Afro house, now everybody knows it, but we used to call it listening house. You want to go home and have some like nice soulful or gospel house or something you can listen at home. And I couldn't find any podcasts that were doing it, not on a consistent basis. So that's why I wanted to do it. So I want people to have a place to go hear it.
Now, when we talk legacy, how would you want the world and the younger artists to come to remember Crystal Waters?
To come to remember Crystal Waters. I'm going to change it up a little bit now. I think at this point in my career, I want to make sure the history of house music is told. I think a lot of people, I've had 2 people say to me, dance music started in Europe, didn't it? And I'm like, what are you, crazy? And I'm like, so I figured as long as my face is still here and I'm still alive, I want to make sure the legacy, is carried on, the story is carried on. They know that it started here in Chicago and New York, and that it started in the Black and Latin communities, and it came from here. So I hope they when they think about house music 100 years from now, they know that I was one of the ones in the beginning that helped start it.
Now, what is the process of yours when a artist wants to sample your music, your voice?
Yeah.
What is the process?
Oh, it's very legal. If they would you want to use a sample, they come and they get licensing. I don't mind bootlegs if they don't try to sell it.
Okay.
What I do mind is some people will sample me and then put their name on it and say featuring Crystals, or they won't put my name on it at all and then go and sell it. That you cannot do. You can't
Right.
take my music and go sell it and make a profit. I feel like if you bootleg it and it's out there and it's good, at least it keeps my name out there and the music out there. But, I'm still profiting, for publishing.
Let me ask you a question, Crystal.
Mm.
What is a stream, and how does it benefit the artist?
Stream like Spotify stream?
Any stream. Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
How does it benefit the artist? I'm a little salty about the streaming business.
Okay.
Because you have to spend a lot of money on promotion just to get it out there. And you're going to tell me I'm only going to get $3,500 back after 1 million streams? You probably spent more than that on promotion.
Right.
So especially if you're trying to do a video, you're trying to, sometimes you got to pay to get on those charts. So so I'm not seeing the benefit, especially when the labels own it. I'm even considering, maybe taking my stuff off of Spotify, but it has changed so much. I really don't see the benefit of putting the music on Spotify. Only the big artists, with the major labels behind them are making any money.
If you could have it your way, would you rather CDs and vinyls come back?
I like the idea of the vinyls coming back because it's nostalgic, it's warm, but you can also, the revenue stream is tangible, and I think people like having tangible things in their hands. So I would like to see that come back. I know the industry that actually presses vinyl is getting bigger and bigger, so there's more places to do it, and I think it's getting cheaper. I don't know if it's SoundCloud that has a way to get your stuff printed. It's one of those services you can
Probably
get.
SoundCloud.
I think it's SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You can actually get your stuff pressed up. And you can actually, go somewhere and give it to them and get your money and, go home. I think that's the way, I think people should build their own websites, get their vinyl, get their product, and sell directly to their fans, curate their fans on social media. And I think that's going to be the way to go for independence.
So you 100% support the direct to consumer?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think because I've been promoting this album for the last 6 months, or with my last singles, and I'm looking at how all this is working, and I'm spending more time in developing, the website to do direct to consumer, because the fans like when you talk directly to them,
Right.
and once you build that base, they stay loyal. As long as you have enough to keep them interested and engaged, they will.
Where are you most comfortable, stage or the studio?
I love being in the studio, but because I'm on the stage, I don't get as much time. I mean, I love being on the stage. I do. It's a great time. I love seeing the people happy. They're smiling. I'm doing dance music, so people are jumping up around, and it's a lot of fun. But I really do miss the studio sometimes.
Yeah. Now, stop me if I'm wrong. You've received Voice of House Award, Female Icon Award. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. It's nice to be recognized and honored. I think it was the EDMA Awards that I was really, surprised that they gave me that. But it feels good to be recognized and honored. Yeah.
Now, when these lights and cameras go off and everybody go home, who is Crystal Waters?
Mommy. Yeah, I learned back day one. Ed Eckstein was the president of Mercury Records when I first got there. And he told me, because his father was very famous, that you'd have to be two people. You have to be Crystal Waters, the stage, the artist. And then when you go home, leave that at the door. Because nobody cares about that once you walk home and through the door. And I think it really saved me a lot, because it's a lot to be on all the time. You have to turn it off. So I do think I'm kind of a different person when I get home.
Have you ever had a moment in your career where you said, I'm done with it?
Yes, I have. I've done it a couple times, but each time I've done that, sincerely, something comes in, something happens. I think the last time I did it was like 2007 or 8, and I was like, I'm done. And then I had this big hit record in Europe, Destination Calabria, and it was like, okay, I'm back on the road again.
Right.
So I feel like if this feels like, even with this album I'm working on now, is just something that's telling me that I need to do this. It's like a calling, when people say it's a calling.
Right.
So that's where it is.
How did you feel when A Living Color did a spoof of your music video, Gypsy Woman?
There's two reactions. One is your attorney calls you and says, congratulations, we sold a lot more records. But second one, no, I didn't. Like, no one wants to be made fun of on TV. And like I said, they didn't even hear the message in the song.
Right.
And it was important. Like, I will tell you, the black outlets will ask me the question, and then when I go to, say, maybe the white outlets, they'll say, I don't understand why they made fun of you. That was an important song. And then, I said, yeah, so it's a message. And the other big part I didn't like was people don't realize you have family. It's not just me that make it. You have families. I'm a daughter. I'm a mother. My kids had to go to school the next day. So that's why I'll just leave it at there. That's why I did not like it.
Now, in this music industry, every other year it shifts. It's a different artist and things like that. How many artists have you seen come and go?
I remember when NSYNC opened for me.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Nice.
I've seen them come and go past me, fall off. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
I can't even give you a number, because you're talking about since '91. So you think of many artists are still around from the '90s. That it's a lot that disappeared. So yeah.
Have you been to Philly yet?
I grew up in South Jersey. Most of my family lived in Philly. My family is in Camden and Philly, and my mother worked in Philly. So the last time I was in Philly was at the Roots Picnic. So.
Okay, this year?
Yep.
Oh,
I did it this year. Yep.
Nice.
In the mud.
Yes, it was raining out there.
Yeah, they had a bad time. Yeah.
Now, when you in Philly, what's one of the spots that you go to?
I always pick up a cheesesteak.
Hold up, Crystal. I gotta stop you.
Okay.
What do you put on your cheesesteak?
Fried onions and extra cheese.
Yes.
That's it.
Mayo? Hold on, mayo?
No mayo.
Oh,
No mayo.
Okay. You got
If
me with
the steak is good, you don't need anything on it, but the cheese and the onions.
Now, here go a question. I see you teamed up with CTB. That is Change the Beat.
Okay.
Okay. Why did you go into nonprofit?
Well, I switched up. I joined them because they represent female DJs. So the whole thing was we did a contest with them for remixes for one of my singles.
Right.
And it's only female remixes. So the whole idea is to promote female DJs in the industry. And Change the Beat has this really nice program. They're aligned with Beatport, and I can't remember who else, but they get them interviews and seen, because there's not that many. There's a lot of female DJs, but you don't see them on these shows and everything.
Right.
So it gives them a platform. So we did a remix contest, and they were really good. It was so many remixes. We ended up taking 10 remixes. That's how many good remixes there were. So that was something I really enjoy. I enjoyed doing things with a purpose. So that was very important to me. So, and also I get to meet now these DJs that know how to produce. I can get to work with them and work on some new music, So it's nice.
If you lost everything today and you hit rock bottom, you're going through your darkest moment in life, who is that one person that you can call that'll give you great advice and put you financially back on your foot?
I would just go with God. That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, my last question. What's one thing that no one know about you, but they should?
One thing they should know about me that they should. I'm grounded. Oh, he likes. I'll just do the whole thing. I'm a spiritual person, more metaphysical and everything. So I do meditation. I do grounding. I do breath work. I Some people on my team don't like this, but I don't do any business before 11 a.m. because when I wake up, I make sure I take care of me first.
Perfect.
And before I talk to people, because actually I don't, some people wake up naturally happy. For me, I have to, get focused and make sure put my start the day with a certain tone, and I like to do that to make sure when I get out there, I'm doing a certain thing.
Would you collab with any hip hop artist that's on the come up?
I would invite any hip hop artist to sample my music.
And they got her in the bag. They got her in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, Ti did it. A couple other people did it, and we love it. I love it.